Hey, good morning. I am in my little office studio because Kristen has been working a lot this weekends. She's still trying to find gallery manager for the glass shop. But so I'm going to do this little video right here in the studio, or in my little home desk. This is quite a bit smaller area than I'm used to working in because the kiddo is here and asleep still. It's still a little bit early for him. So I'm just going to start drawing some stuff with this soft pastel. And I actually kind of call it painting with it because, as you saw, I got it wet straight away. And so I'm going to just kind of try this brown sketchbook paper that I happen to have laying around and see what it does for me today. It's probably going to curl up like crazy. So I'm David Austin, and my website is davidaustingallery.com. I'm an abstract artist. I have a lot of work in corporate collections and private collections all around the world, believe it or not, but I do. So I really love these Rembrandt Soft Pastels because they're so highly pigmented and they're just a really, really nice method to work with. But let's see how they do on this, with my technique, on this particular paper. This is just a little sketchbook that I happen to have inside here in the house studio desk. So we're going to try, and I gotta tell you, the reason that I like to work onto a wet surface, as you can see, is it gives you this really painterly sort of a look. And what is paint? Paint is basically pigment plus a binder and other additives. So my binder in this case is talc, a clay body mixed in with the pigment, and then my medium is the water. So essentially that's what we're playing with today, and we're going to see what we can do. I should have peeled these maybe, so I can use them a little bit easier. And of course, I don't see a knife blade on the desk here. But I like doing these almost. Sometimes these things end up figurative, sometimes they end up more landscape oriented. I have a series of 3x4 foots I'm working on right now. You can use the brush, pick the pigment up, and move it around too. They're a lot of fun. This paper is not holding up well. It's definitely already deteriorating, and that's okay. I think that's okay today. We're just going to have some fun and do a couple little quick drawings. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I have to tell you, oh, by the way, we haven't been able to keep up with the live shows on Saturday mornings at 11, in a large part because Kristen has been having to manage the gallery part of the glass shop. She's the director of operations at a local glass production place that does lessons and other things, and so I've kind of lost her to the weekends, because of she's still trying to fill this position. So if you know of anybody that wants to work at a glass shop, let me know. Drop it in the comments or just message us. So I'm really enjoying this. Let's see now, since this is a lot of a lighter or brown color, let's mix in some of this lighter off-white creaminess, and then let's go ahead and pick up some of the blue up here and blend it. Oh, that's fun, huh? I can bring that right down in here. See what I mean? How that kind of becomes painterly. This is more obvious when I'm working on the boards. So I work on this plywood that is very resistant to the water. And it makes for a lot of fun when I'm working. It's just such a direct contact. It kind of reminds me of working in my clay because it's so immediate. And there's nothing really between me and what I'm doing. This is basically clay in a dry form mixed with pigment, and then I'm using water and clay to make it plastic. And then I'm blending it onto this surface. So it's a very interesting process that I kind of stumbled on, and one of the reasons I started doing this was by accident. I was working with what was I working with? I was working with a lot of wet into wet with the big pieces, and doing mixed media acrylic and oil and things like that, and I discovered what happened when I worked with the pastels into those mixed media surfaces, and now I'm having fun just blending the pastels themselves into the surface and working very painterly with the water. You're probably wondering, when I go to finish, what do I do? And when I finish these off, meaning I fix them, I use Degas fixative if I'm going to keep working it and want it to stay a layer to stay solid, and then I do a Degas or Spectra Fix Final Fix. Sorry, stumbling over my words this morning. And that's how I get all of the surfaces to be protected, archival. This is very archival process. This is very pure pigment. And when it dries, you can do effects over these too, and you can highlight over the tops with different kinds of what am I trying to say? Pencils. You can work dry. It gives a different effect. I wish I had brought a few more colors over. I just grabbed some from the studio, and that's a little dry, the paper, but you can see kind of the difference right there versus here. And of course, when it dries, it's going to have a similar effect. So again, working in my studio it's not even my studio. I'm working at my desk for all intents and purposes, in Kristen's office. This beautiful sunroom, sun coming in on this gorgeous Sunday morning before the kiddo wakes up. That's how I'm getting this video done. And hopefully next weekend we can do our live show again, because I miss interacting with everybody. I could leave that paper showing through, and I've decided at this point clearly that I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and cover the whole surface of the paper today, and that's okay. Maybe I'll do another one of these. I'll have a little series of from the tiny desk, like the NPR music show. Well, this is turning out more enjoyable than I thought it would be today. And you know, what we always say, Kristen and I, our favorite thing to say is create without fear. And through experimentation and play is when true discoveries happen. So I would encourage you to try this technique. Now, to make it clear, these are considered soft pastels. This technique doesn't work with oil pastels. However, Royal Talons has a fixative for a finish varnish of some sort for using oil pastels now, and there are water soluble oil pastels as well. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm really excited to get into those and see what happens. I'm just really enjoying painting today here with you, or drawing. I don't know. What do you think? Is this drawing or is this painting? Because I'm working into the wet surface. What's your opinion on that? Well, this has been a lot of fun to do this today in our, I don't know, can you hear the little waterfall in the background? We got a little tiny water feature in the back here with a bunch of plants that are surrounding me. I'm looking out towards our gardens and the pond, and it's quite beautiful. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or message us directly. I will post this on the community part on the YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll talk to you soon. Create without fear. Be kind to each other and spread that kindness.